So the URSA is an Ultra HD camera which basically follows two different paths when you're recording your media. You've got a ProRes workflow and you also have a RAW workflow. Now this camera actually records for you both 4K ProRes and a 4K visually lossless cinema DNG. Now, my suggestion would be is that if you're looking to actually take that video footage straight away into an editing environment, and you and you want to work within a ProRes environment, which is very typical to most people, then you can do that no problem whatsoever. It's just a case of taking those that footage, copying it into your NLE, and you're working straight away. Now, in terms of working with a visually lossless cinema DNG, the difference there is that the actual file formats are somewhat larger in size. So that actually means that you have to have a dedicated storage to be able to support that process. Now, the difference of why you would choose to do that is that Cinema DNG also has a lot more information within the image. You're actually recording a RAW file which maintains all the metadata, it retains all of the information of your lighting controls and your exposure controls, etc. So when you're taking that into a color correction environment, you're able to actually drill down into those colors. You actually be able to enhance those images a lot more. So typically, if you're working within ProRes, you can record, drop it into your editor, start working right away, and then choose whether or not to color correct it later on. If you're working within a RAW environment, what you may want to do is take it into Resolve directly and edit that as a full RAW workflow. But with that, you're going to require a large storage amount. So what you may choose to do is actually do a proxy-based edit where you're working with lower res images, you're doing all of your edit in proxy, and then at the end, what you're then doing is reconforming that back as a RAW file.
One of the things we really love about this camera is the monitors. What is the resolution of the 10-inch monitor?
So it's 1920 1080 for the 10-inch, so it's a full HD monitor. The great thing about that, obviously, is that typically when you're shooting, if you're using an EVF or you're working with on-set monitors, not always is that easy to be able to see what's going on around you when you're shooting. Whereas this gives you that extra flexibility.
Is there an external battery option?
Yes, there is. So on the back of the actual URSA, you have the ability to connect a V-mount. So Anton Bauer, IDX, and many other well-known battery companies enable you to be able to attach an external battery.
And it's at a great price. How is it so cheap? Why is it so cheap?
How are all the cameras so expensive?
Okay.
I think for us, what we've been renowned for in terms of our cameras and all of our products is that we're able to produce great products at an affordable price. For us, it doesn't interest us if we have to produce a camera and it costs tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Our aim is to ensure that we're delivering a high quality product to everybody. And for us, what we've been able to do over the history of the company is be able to build efficiencies into the company to allow us to make these products at a great price.
Perfect. And just one last question. Where does the URSA HDMI fit in if the Ninja is sub 1000?
So what you've got to look at in terms of this camera body is the camera body gives you more than just a single monitoring solution. This gives you the ability to be able to look at things like all your audio levels in more detail and to look at your media on board the camera. For instance, with the HDMI module, what you could do is you could take any camera with a HDMI output and you could actually connect that directly into the body. Then being able to utilize 3 monitors, you're able to record to CFast, which is something that it's not capable that camera might not be capable of doing. But also, as well as it enables you to review all of those things as well, from this single unit. And also, you could pick the camera up and use it in a different way. If you're working with say a handheld DSLR, where typically you would have to rig it up. With this, you can actually attach the DSLR onto the front of the actual body of the camera and actually use it almost like an ENG style, like what you're seeing behind me.
Thank you so much.
No problem.